just around the corner, next to Greg's and the old DSS. But let me warn ya, I go there now and then. It's a regular Fagin's Den.
And this Wetherspoons I went into is quite upmarket, you see.
How can you tell you're in an upmarket Wetherspoons? There's no bar brawl going on.
No, not at all. It's just the quality of the person in the actual establishment itself.
The quality of the person?
Yeah, they all seem to be professional people, you know,
Really?
talking about building buildings and all sorts of things, you know what I mean?
How do you know they're talking about building buildings?
Because I listen to people. That's part of my job. I'm a people watcher. So anyway...
So you're a watcher and a listener?
Yes, that's right,
Wow.
yes. So
Multitasking.
So I order the old, the fish and chips, as usual, even though it was a Sunday. And that's all okay, and I've got my paper spread out my table, and then all of a sudden...
Do you have to give a table number?
Yeah, you give a table number, yeah. And then all of a sudden, a guy comes over, and without saying anything to me, without saying, excuse me, can I take this chair, or do you mind if I, or whatever, he suddenly starts pulling chairs out and starting to sit down with his girlfriend.
Right.
And I said,
what sort of age was this guy?
This guy was in his 30s.
Okay.
And I said, whoa. He
whoa,
said,
whoa, whoa.
Yeah,
What, are you doing some kind of Borat impersonation?
Yeah,
whoa.
Yeah. So I said, what are you doing? And he said, he was an Irish guy. He said, I'm just having myself a drink. What's your problem? I said, well, you're not...
you.
Yeah. I said, you're not sitting here. Yeah.
Martin McGuinness.
That wasn't Martin McGuinness, no. I said, well, you're not sitting here. He said, why not? I said, 'cause it's my table. I said, you didn't even have the courtesy to ask me.
Yeah, that's a bit rude, isn't it?
Yeah, I said, I'm sorry, you don't even know whether I'm waiting for some friends to come. He said, and who says it's your table? And then his girlfriend realised that he was...
A really nice sort of person in this place, I can tell.
His girlfriend then realised he was ill-mannered. And...
Is she also Irish?
I don't know because I didn't hear her voice. But the thing was, there was a table next to mine, which nobody was sitting at,
right.
But he wouldn't sit at it because it still had some dirty plates on it. They hadn't had time to come and clear them.
Well, that's understandable.
Well, no, it's not. You should. I said, there's a spare table there, mate. He said, it's a dirty table. I said, well, get it cleaned. I said, be not sitting at my table. Now push off, right? So
this is how bar brawls start in these places.
I know, yeah. So his girlfriend...
Mate, to be fair, if I had been him, I would have said to you, excuse me, do you mind if I sit down here?
And I would have said, yes, I do, actually. I'm waiting for friends. I always tell that lie.
Yeah.
You know, so that people say, all right, okay.
Because you're never waiting for anyone, are you, ever?
Well, I always put my coat on the chair opposite.
Do you know that song by the Rolling Stones, I'm just waiting for a friend?
I'm just waiting for a friend.
You could say, I'm actually not waiting for a friend. Change the words.
Well, of course, yeah. But anyway, so...
we'll have to play that later.
So then I thought, you know, the damned impudence of these people.
So where did he go then?
Well, he sat on the table next door.
Oh, the dirty table.
Oh yeah, but then he tried to get really funny. He said, "Well, you can move those," and he put a dirty plate on my table, you know. So, and I just said...
Why does this stuff happen to you all the time?
I don't know. So I just said, pathetic. And then I summoned a waiter over to take the dirty plate away, right?
I mean, only you could find yourself in this kind of horrendous...
Well, why would anybody behave like that?
Well, because you're in Wetherspoons, first of all.
Yeah, but it's not market one, real quality one.
The only difference in that one and the one in Trowbridge is that if that had happened in Trowbridge, the guy would have lamped you.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault the way people behave. Anyway, so what happens then is...
Right.
About 40 minutes later, because the pub's crowded, because people have come in to watch the rugby.
Okay.
An older guy, a much older guy, came and, without saying anything again, there was only one chair left at my table then.
What, you mean people had taken the chairs away?
Yeah, they're taking that.
So you're sitting at a table for four.
Yeah.
With
spare chair.
With only one chair at it, and the one you're sitting in.
No, I was actually sitting on a bench, you see, on one side of the table, which could have taken 2 or 3 people. This is the whole point. This is why people thought it was a bigger table than it was.
Okay.
So anyway, so what happens then is that this old guy comes over, but I think he was a little bit doolally or something, because without him saying anything, he just suddenly pulled the chair back, put his drink on the table and said, excuse me, what are you doing? And he said, what? And I said, you can't sit there, mate. I said, I'm sorry. I said, you're invading my space and you're not sitting there. And then, funny enough, there were 2 young fellas on a table on the other side of me who immediately saw the situation, leapt up and said, oh, come and join us, we're going in 5 minutes. So this old guy, who was a bit of a nuisance.
So they could see, basically, that you were creating all sorts of problems.
No, I wasn't creating any problems.
So they were trying to make this guy feel at home.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
Because you were being so horrible to him.
Yeah, well, there was 2 of them, wasn't there? It was only me. I couldn't sit with some old bore, could I, And
well, maybe he was thinking the same thing.
Well, why did you want to sit down with me then?
Well, maybe he was trying to make friends. I mean, some people go to these places in order to talk to somebody because they live on their own. They don't have any interaction with anyone during the course of the day.
Yeah.
And they go to the pub to meet some friends that they don't know they've got.
Sorry, do I look like a branch of the social services?
No, you don't.
Right, good.
But a lot of people go to the pub to be sociable.
Yeah, okay, well...
You just go there to get bladderated on your own.
No, I don't know. So anyway, this old guy was literally steered away by these two professional guys. I mean, quite young. They're in their sort of 20s.
Professional.
They were very kind, they take this old guy away. But then there was an old guy at the table, like...
So that's the third guy?
Yeah, the third guy, 2 or 3 away.
Why didn't you just... If I'd been you, right, here's what you should have done. You should have moved the chair. So there's no chair there.
Well, where would I have put it?
Well, put it by another table.
But they were all full, so I would have been sticking on somebody else's table. Anyway, this old guy then on the table 2 or 3 away from me.
Yeah.
In fact, opposite as well, so to speak.
The third guy.
The third guy. Right. He made a rude gesture, towards me because he said,
What, you mean stuck 2 fingers up to you?
Well, a waving sort of gesture, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean,
if not wrong, is he?
If I'd have been, if I'd have been a man of sort of violent tendencies or something, could have gone over and I could have sorted him out. You know what I mean?
How did you get yourself into this kind of stuff?
I don't know, because
that's a shocking thing.
I didn't do anything to provoke anybody or anything like that.
The management didn't come and have a word with you.
But this goes back to my central point, which I've said for a long time.
Yeah.
You see, what happened was this old fellow was going to sit there for an hour with, half a pint of beer. Now, because since then I've noticed I've seen people sitting at tables in bars for an hour with one of them's drinking a cup of tea and the other one asks for a glass of tap water from the bar, okay? Now, what establishments are going to have to do, because pubs get more and more crowded as people, society grows on and pubs close down and all this kind of stuff, the table should be paid for by the hour, the occupation of the table. And then there is no row.
Then you can have whatever you want on the table.
Exactly. And then there's no row about whose table it is and what you're having on the table.
Yeah, but you see, the trouble is they will want a certain amount of turnover per individual, won't they?
Yes.
So that, sometimes that's not enough, because what they want you to do, we know this from talking to some of our pals in the business, right?
Yes.
Is they want spend per head.
They do.
They want somebody to eat, they want somebody to drink. They don't make much money on the drink anymore.
No, they do. But you're absolutely right. But what I'm saying is an additional source of revenue would be to book the table at £4 an hour. So if I came in and I said, look, I'm going to take that table, mate, I want fish and chips, I want a bottle of Pinot, please. How long do you want the table? 3 hours. Put a £12 charge on top of my bill. It's my table. Do you see what I mean?
Well, what if you only want it for, say, half an hour? What do they charge you then?
They'll charge you for an hour. They charge you £4 basic for an hour.
I don't think I'd like that.
Oh, I think it's
sounds like
great.
you'd be going to some sort of DOS house.
No, £4 an hour, £1 for 15 minutes, I think is a very fair charge. And I think I
disagree completely.
Look, if somebody's going to come in
You're
and
running
say,
a restaurant, I'm not paying to have the table.
Right, hang on. If somebody comes in and they're just going to use you as an office and they order 1 cup of tea and a glass of water.
That's fine.
Right, and they go and sit down at a table for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, that is unacceptable. What you say to them is, you say, yeah, okay, how many hours do you want the table for? They say, what do you mean? And they say, well, I'm sorry, our tables are rented by the hour.
With
£4.
Where people use places like that for Wi-Fi access and all that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure there's some place in London tried this, and it didn't work.
Well, I'm telling you, if I was running an establishment like that, that's what I would do.
Just stay home.
And I would solve the problem.
That's what you should do. Stay home, because you're a danger, you're a menace to society.
Not at all.
You're antisocial.
Not at all.
You are likely to cause a breach of the peace,
No.
public disorder, and all manner of unfortunate stuff whenever you go anywhere.
No.
Because you're strange.
Well, I mean, so you'd accept some old dosser sitting at your table, would you, to bore you to death for a
Well, I wouldn't go to a sort of place where they hang out.
Most of the time when I
wouldn't go there in the first place.
Most of the time when I'm in a pub and I have manuals and journals and newspapers in front of me, I am in work mode. And I will not accept somebody trying to...
you were just in dipso mode.
Trying to invade my private space and to distract me from my lifetime mission, which is to communicate and inform.
Maybe what you should do is go to a place and book a private room. That would be the way to do it.
Yeah, well,
we'll talk some more about this.
Wouldn't mind that, yeah.
That would be a different thing altogether.
Welcome to Wetherspoons. It's more than a bar and a grill. If you want to buy it and they don't supply it, someone knows someone knows someone knows someone